You are live on 98.9 Northwest FM. This is the Tuesday Review. I'm Nathan, as always, joined by James. How you going, James? What's made you happy in the last week?
Oh, I had some homemade lasagna recently. That was very nice.
Very good. That makes everything a little bit better. Also joined by Callum. I know it's a struggle, Callum, but what's made you happy recently?
Had some homemade fried rice.
Nice.
Similar to James. That was very nice. Very, very, very nice.
Food
Excellent.
is...
Yeah, well, mine's
It's
also
the
kind
only
of food.
yeah,
Mine's also kind of food related.
I was going to say it's the only thing like keeping us...
Yeah, keeping us going.
Not
Food-
just keeping us
food
alive,
and movies,
but
that's
like,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah. I had the 6 month yearly dentist checkup today. And for being such a brave boy at the dentist, like a big grown adult I am, big man baby I am, I treated myself to some ice cream on the way here today.
Nice. So I guess it's you got a good bill of health there.
Oh yeah, it was just a checkup. Everything was good.
Yeah.
No. Make sure you go to the dentist. Everyone listening at home.
Yeah, I haven't
Oral
been in a long
health
time.
and dental health is important.
Mm-hmm.
That was fine. Just standard checkup, bit of a clean, no dramas. And then I'm like, you know what? Because I'm such a good boy, it's ice cream time, mate. And the weather was right for it.
Actually, yeah, it has been good the last couple of days.
So yeah, that made me happy. I had some real nice ice cream sitting at the gelato bar near here
Nice.
before the show.
Yeah.
We'll get straight into it with a couple of little housekeeping announcements. So we have I guess we are fans of it in a tangential sense. We talk about it quite a lot on the show. The Pokemon Go walks, as well as encouraging eating and going to the dentist. We also encourage going to having some exercise and playing Pokemon Go.
Ice cream is a sometimes food.
Yeah.
Go to the dentist. Eat
That's
healthy usually.
Yeah.
And go for a walk.
That's it. There is another Pokemon Go walk, City Safari, coming to Sydney this weekend, December 13 or 14. They never do it for Melbourne.
Yeah, it's weird. It's always in Sydney.
It's weird, but I guess Sydney is the pop culture capital of Australia in terms of how foreigners see Australia, I guess.
Maybe, yeah. Everyone thinks it's the capital.
Yeah. So there's another Pokemon Go walk. You can get involved even if you're not in Sydney. There's usually digital kind of events on the app anyway to get you involved and invested. This will be Australia's first ever City Safari event.
Okay.
I guess they all sound the same to me. I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't there a walk recently, or was it not the safari one?
It's not. I guess they're all themed slightly
Yeah,
differently. But so check it out. You can find all the information on the Pokemon Go website or the app or whatever. But yeah, it's City Safari walk.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you and other trainers follow a set path with some special Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And
Get excited.
and there's something maybe a little bit closer to kind of what some in the station have experienced in the studio here. The Game on Cancer, which is something we talk about every year on this show, and that's come back as well. So it kicked off on the 1st of November, and it's extended until the 15th of December. So it had finished, but they extended it.
Okay.
Which is, you can watch live streams and speed running and all those kinds of gaming shenanigans. And
For charity.
For charity, yeah. So buy a ticket. We'll put all the links and stuff in the description of this episode on the socials and everything else. And
Is that in Melbourne?
I think it's mostly digital.
Oh, okay, so you stream it mostly.
Yeah,
on...
it's mostly live and stuff like that. So Twitch and
Okay,
YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yes, join in through the website. We'll list in the comments and everything else. Check it out. And
It's for a good cause.
it's for a good cause. All right, we'll get straight into it. James went to the Astor Film Bazaar.
Yeah, so for the last couple of years at the Astor, they've been holding something they call the Film Bazaar, where they have a bunch of boutique, Blu-ray labels like Umbrella, and they have Australian Blu-ray sellers like Dead End DVD who set up like stalls in the Astor, both levels, and they have a bunch of people selling their own second-hand Blu-rays. They have a bunch of people selling memorabilia and collectibles and figures and posters and just lots of cool movie and pop culture stuff. The last couple of years I didn't get a chance to go, but this year I was determined to go. So I went. The line was huge.
Are you broke right in time for Christmas?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I did it to myself. I spent way too much money. But one of the things was the first 250 people in line got a little show bag, little goodie bag from Umbrella. And when I got there, the line was really long. By the time I parked and walked to the line, it was like double the size, and it was going round the corner, around the block. So I thought, I missed out on the goodie bag, whatever. And then the line kept growing and growing. It went all the way around the corner, down the back, and then like it looped back around like Snake on Nokia. Like it was like looping back to the S. It was huge. It was crazy. But apparently I got lucky because I got a little goodie bag with a poster and a little, some card, like horror movie trading cards and
Nice.
a little lollipop and just little knickknacks.
Any memorable finds from this year's Bazaar?
Oh, when I actually got in there, of course, my focus was on the physical media. So I didn't spend any money on like posters, and there was lots of cool stuff like action figures and
but you're there for the
things.
movies. Yeah.
But I focused on the physical media because that's what I like to collect, and I like watching the movies. So I spent way too much money, and I made sure to only buy stuff that was a good deal because otherwise I can just get most of this stuff online. Yeah, like some people were selling stuff that you can get online for the same price. And I was like, there's no point in getting that. So I did get a few good deals. One thing that I was not waiting on, but Umbrella had the Eyes Without a Face, the old French movie. They had like a limited edition box set, like a nice hardcover box with the slip case and all the goodies inside and the book and whatever. So I got that one. That was good. I got a few other movies for good price. I got Kindergarten Cop on 4K.
Nice.
I got that for a good price. Wages of Fear, the original French movie that Sorcerer was based off of. I got that on 4K, so that was good because I've been waiting to get that, waiting for it to go down on Amazon or whatever. But this is cheaper than that, so that was good. I got some cool stuff.
Nice.
How
did it smell in the venue? Was there enough deodorant applied?
We were packed in like sardines. It was crazy. Like it was so smooshed. But no, it wasn't
good.
Like
not those kinds of nerds.
Yeah, I mean there were some, but yeah,
yeah,
it's like less of a But no, it was fine.
Were there any fights? Because this is something I'm always kind of interested in, right? Especially the secondhand collectible market. Like, are people fighting over the same Blu-ray? Like, I really want that disc, like, over my dead body.
I'm sure it's happened. Everyone was, really nice and whatever. There were moments where, because we were packed in like sardines, you're like trying to look at something and people like pushing in, like trying to squeeze in behind you and getting pushing. And, I'm not someone who like will elbow someone or nudge someone. Like, I'll just kind of stay.
You needed to take Alan with you to like knock someone
but there
out.
was a point where I was like, I was just waiting. Like I deliberately went there like and was going to spend as much time as possible there. So I wasn't like, I have to go. Yeah. So I was waiting patiently. Eventually, like I had to sort of just keep like my, stand my ground, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one was like, there was no act like that I saw.
No aggression or violence. Yeah.
But there's always that sort of I think actually I was talking to someone about it after I went, and I thought the one thing I would do differently, and I think they should do this for all events everywhere, doesn't matter how big or small or whatever. They should put arrows on the ground so everyone's always walking the same way.
Yeah.
Because a problem was like people would walk in and then people would go to the this side and then you'd sort of be clashing and there'd be like a crush of people crossing each other. Obviously that's not going to always work because some people might just want to double back a little bit and they're not going to walk around the whole thing to do that. But at least it gives you sort of a guide, especially when you're lining up for a specific table. It's like some people coming this way, some people coming in that way.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it, and I next year maybe, I don't know. This year I just wanted to enjoy it and buy stuff and but next year maybe we could hook something up in terms of the Tuesday review, and maybe take some video or interview some people. So that's something that might come in future. And yeah, there were a couple of like indie labels there that
You should have bought some cards, given them out to the
I
vendors.
did have some cards, but yeah, I didn't.
Also, if there's too many people, it's just
Yeah, and I
uncomfortable
was
to
just
do.
like, I deliberately was like, I'm not going to network unless it comes up, obviously.
Yeah. You don't have your working hat on there.
Yeah, I was just like, I do not want to think about
Yeah,
the podcast at the moment. I was just like, I just want to have fun and buy.
Indulge in your hobby.
Yeah, but there were a few people there who I now know they exist, and so then we can email them and say, hey, can we talk about? Because there was a cool little Australian indie label that they were selling like hard to find Japanese movies on Blu-ray.
Nice.
And I actually bought one of the movies and bought one of their T-shirts.
Nice.
And yeah, we might hit them up because that's really interesting what they're doing. They're very small. They've only got 2 movies out so far, and
get it on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was cool. And I also bought a Hellraiser T-shirt with Pinhead on it because it was just
You're
really
obligated
nice.
to.
Yeah, really nice, classic looking T-shirt. Anyway, yeah, I didn't mean to spend so much time on this. I just thought it was really cool. And yeah, if you love movies and you a physical media, even if you're not a physical media collector, there's lots of cool stuff there. And yeah. So.
All right, very good. We'll move on. The Bomb is back.
Oh, the Baumbach.
Yeah, the Bomb is back.
Baumbach is back, hopefully with not a bomb though.
He's doing his bomb best, as you like to say. So yes, the new Netflix film by Noah Baumbach.
What was because where the Wes Stands?
Yeah.
Did we come up with one for Noah Baumbach?
Baumbachers.
The Baumbachers, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Noah Baumbach is back on Netflix, returned to Netflix with a new feature film. This one also got a theatrical release, which we'll be fair here.
Yep.
And we'll bring this. This will come up again later in our conversation tonight. But Jay Kelly has been released.
Yes.
The new Baumbach movie starring George Clooney. I feel like he hasn't been in a real major auteur-driven kind of film in a while.
Yeah, he did that Wolves.
Trapped in Paradise or whatever it was a while ago.
Wolves and Trapped in Paradise like in 2021 or 2022 or something.
Yeah, he did Wolves for Apple.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago, I think.
That was a cash grab movie.
Yeah, it's like no one saw it. I don't know anyone who saw that.
Him and Brad Pitt, they just took a paycheck.
Yeah, it looked that was it looked like a straight to streaming movie that they put out the movies maybe because they had to because it was in the contract.
Yeah, that was an Apple movie. The Apple's just like, look, we have $100 million to spend on a movie. Do you just want a paycheck? And George Clooney's like, I do need to put my kids through school. Like, you know what I mean?
He's got all that Nespresso money. That's the main thing he's been doing.
Yeah.
But I think he's even said in interviews now and stuff, he's like, I've done everything. Like, I'm so rich. Like, I just only work if I really want to.
Which is the best place to be.
I think this is a good example of Noah Baumbach being a filmmaker who, had an idea and wanted and needed an actor of George Clooney's stature and reputation.
Legacy.
Yeah, legacy.
And I think it's a nice change of pace for someone like George Clooney to get in on the artiste kind of auteur-driven films and really actually let's see some chops.
I mean, he was in Michael Clayton, which is amazing. He was in Where Brother We're Out There.
Nothing recently.
Recently, yeah. Yeah. So
it's good to see George Clooney actually like trying to give it some,
and not just like a paycheck movie.
It's not a paycheck movie.
Yeah.
So it had some interesting it had an interesting performance from George Clooney, I would say. He did his best.
Yeah.
I think it's his best performance.
Have you seen Michael Clayton?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Look,
even though Oh Brother We're Out There is a better performance
than Jay Kelly's.
100%. Actually,
they're different.
I think
they're different, but like
he really taps into the wistfulness of sentimentality, which is I think why I like his performance so much, is because it's in line with his age. Does that make sense?
I mean, he's playing a version of himself, basically.
Yeah, but like I think that's what makes it my favorite of his performances, is because like I'm not, when I say it's his best performance, obviously that's subjective.
Yeah.
There's probably some guy out there who thinks that his best performance is in some episode of ER.
Hey man, The Peacemaker. Have you seen that movie? I love that movie.
But my point is that I think that this was perfect
Hail
for
Caesar,
him.
that was a better performance.
That's a good film.
Yeah.
That is a good film. But before we get too carried away, let's rewind it back and say, essentially, for listeners who haven't seen Jay Kelly or don't know about it, it's essentially about George Clooney playing a version of himself, you can argue.
Yeah, it's a super
Named-
famous movie star.
Named Jay Kelly, who is kind of at a point in his career where he's just kind of like, yeah, I got the money, I got the fortune, but I
Yeah.
really just want a relationship with my kids.
Yeah,
And it's his battle with what's really important in life.
Yeah, he's like done all
as
these.
he's tangentially, I guess, on a way to an awards show.
Yeah, he's done all these movies. He has this, massive reputation. And then, his daughters are grown up and they're like leaving the house, and he's kind of like, maybe I should quit movies and sort of focus on other stuff in my life.
Yeah.
But of course, all the forces of the industry
Yeah.
are pushing him towards
Yeah.
just keep doing it.
We're also joined by Alan. How you doing, Alan? What's made you happy in the last week?
A pay rise at work's made me happy in the last week.
Nice.
It wasn't much, but hey, it's better than
Better
nothing.
than
That's
nothing,
it.
yeah.
What's a pay rise for those of us who don't know?
For those of us whose wage only goes up 20 cents a year, maybe.
Callum's like that meme. You guys are getting paid.
Yeah.
It's when the cost of living goes up more, and so the pay rise is actually insignificant. But
That's
you
the
know,
thing. It's like
That's it.
it makes
never-
the company feel better about.
it never
inflation.
actually matters because it never goes up enough.
It never goes above inflation, so
Yeah,
really,
so
you're just getting less of a pay cut.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
continue, James. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just about him, sort of going on a journey of self-discovery. He's being granted an award, like a lifetime achievement, sort of thing in Italy, and so his daughter is also traveling in Europe. So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna use this as an excuse to go after," and then it sort of just becomes about him and his entourage. He's got this big entourage. And it's like, does he actually care about these people, or are they just his workers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
It's very comfortable it's very in Noah Baumbach's almost comfort territory, this kind of story.
Yeah.
It's in a good way.
I
It's
think-
kind of a little bit Wes Anderson, a little bit Noah Baumbach. It's got those kinds of
Yeah, I
cinema
think
themes that they work with.
we've talked about before about Noah Baumbach it's like a Woody Allen-esque kind of vibe. And I think the first third of this movie or whatever, all the stuff with the movies, like it felt very Woody Allen-y, where they're talking about the industry and the actors, and like there's some flashbacks and
the stuff on the train feels a little bit Wes Anderson-y
that
to
goes
me.
into Wes Anderson territory, yeah.
So it's right in the boys' favorite kind of wheelhouse a little bit.
It's like the greatest hits of those, kind of filmmakers.
Yeah, so I appreciated the filmmaking behind this movie. I got a lot out of it as a fan of that
yeah.
kind of style of filmmaking,
Yeah.
and I
think it's also...
I like the whole reminiscence of it, the whole kind of sentimental nostalgia.
I had, Callum liked it, I think, the most out of it. I liked it less than you guys. I think, I will say, though, on a positive note, before I go anything negative, like it's 2 hours and 10 minutes or something, but it like moves. Like I was engaged, and it's an easy watch. It's not particularly, I think it's good. It'll be good for like parents. You know what I mean? Like it's like
there's
George
nothing,
Clooney. There's nothing really. It's like just a nice kind of drama.
No,
There's a little bit of humor.
Yeah, it's like 2000s Wes Anderson. It's not 2020s Wes Anderson.
Yeah, well, it's not super stylized or anything. Yeah, it's very.
And it's not. I have to think Wes Anderson. It's not,
and that's maybe one of my criticisms of it is like the filmmaking itself isn't particularly special or anything. But it does. Some of it looks nice. Some of it looks not so nice.
The cinematography is pretty good, I think.
For the most part, but some of it does look it doesn't look straight Netflix awful. I think we were talking about recently about
shot on 35mm film, which was nice. So this
yeah.
would have been good to see. I'm wondering if it played at all on film in cinemas or if it was just digital.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if they showed it in film, I would have loved to have seen it in film.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing maybe we'll have to email Netflix and be like, hey, listen, I have a question.
Yeah,
When your slop goes to theaters
well,
and it's shot at
now
film...
now that Netflix is taking over...
maybe not. Paramount's trying a hostile bid.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
but that's not good either.
No.
None of this is good.
No,
it's
it's
never
not.
good.
No, but I'm like, if it's shot on film, do they show that? Do they have those film reels for cinemas that have that capacity, or are they just like, it's Netflix, here's digital?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
anyway, we're getting off track.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the movie that they would even put put out the print.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But it's good that this movie did get a theatrical run, because I feel like it would have been nice to see it in the cinema.
Yeah.
Like, it would look good on a big screen.
Yeah.
Like all the vistas of Europe and Italy and all that kind of stuff would have been cool to see.
Yeah. I think it's a good. For me, it was good, but not great. I think there were scenes I really liked, like the one with Billy Crudup, which everyone's already talking about. And the one with Patrick Wilson, the two Watchmen boys. That was great, where him and Adam Sandler are like crying at each other. That was great. There was, I think before they get on the train, I was enjoying it more. Then the train, I was like, this is good. And then the more I was on the train, the less I liked it. And then they get off the train and I sort of started to like it again. And then I didn't like the ending. So for me, it was a bit uneven. But like I said, even though it's a long movie, it wasn't a hard watch.
No. Do you agree that with a couple of changes, it could have easily been a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Shoot it at Christmas.
I think
the overall themes of the film lend itself to being that
a sort
kind
of
of
celebrity
story.
who has everything, but in reality,
it's that kind of almost that Scrooge kind of story.
Yeah, and it's like he's this nice guy, but in reality, he's just kind of selfish and bit.
He's just like him and Adam Sandler chilling at Christmas, and he's like,
this
is not what Christmas is about.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is just George Clooney's natural charisma, but I mean, he was a likable guy, but yeah, he's a bit of a dick. But I'm like, maybe they could have pushed that further. Like, he's at the start, he's more of an asshole, and then he learns to be. But yeah.
So December feels like a right choice, and with a couple of edits, you can claim this is a Christmas movie. We just need to CG some Christmas trees in the background. And be like, it is a Christmas movie.
Instead of when they get in the train in France, and it's like the day the festival after Easter, they could have been like, oh, it's almost Christmas. Yeah. But yeah, I think George Clooney was good in it. I really liked Adam Sandler in it.
He's good in all his
Laura
dramatic
Dern.
roles,
Like, it's got a great cast. I think I would have actually maybe preferred the movie if it was from Adam Sandler's character's point of view. He plays George Clooney's character's like manager. And I was like, oh, this would be interesting. And one thing I didn't like about the ending, which I won't spoil, but it was in regards to his character. So I would have been interested to see the movie from his point of view and how about like he's done everything for this guy and this guy is just kind of like a narcissist or, self-absorbed. So
because there's that part of it where it's kind of like Adam Sandler's like, it's like kind of that relationship doesn't feel like a relationship because it's like there's that transaction element.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but the man's giving you his whole life. And I'm kind of like, 15% is 15%, but he doesn't have a life outside of you.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to do as much as he's doing.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, sure, he's getting paid, but you owe the man that because he's devoted his life to you. That means something.
Yeah, which is one of my problems as the movie goes on and with the ending. So, yeah, but I think it's good, not great. I think it's not up there with Noah Baumbach's great movies.
No, but it's hard. This is another kind of one of those kinds of topics, I guess, and especially when you're trapped in the Netflix machine. Is it hard to recapture that sort of greatness when you're under the pressure maybe that he is from studio interference, Netflix interference? You want to spend this budget with these actors. Like, was his success due to limitations or due to him feeling like he has more creative freedom?
Yeah, I think it's the same with like Wes Anderson or other filmmakers we've been talking about.
Wes Anderson doubled down and was like, no, I'm going to go double artist. Like, he went the other way of Baumbach potentially, right?
I'm going to like mainline my own like eccentricities. But you know what I mean? It's like a lot of filmmakers we were talking about recently with Guillermo del Toro, like a lot of filmmakers, not all of them, maybe most of them, their older movies were better. And that's part of them just growing, getting older as artists, but it's also just a massive change in the industry. And again, like the last 3 Noah Baumbach movies were Netflix movies. And I think you can see sort of Marriage Story was Netflix, but before COVID, and that was an amazing movie. Then White Noise was like in the middle after COVID, and now this one is Netflix, but after COVID. I think there's also just a change, not just in the industry, but just the whole COVID thing just completely changed the industry. And of course, as we're seeing with the apparent sale of Warner Brothers Discovery. Like, it's just this whole thing that just changed how people make movies. So but Callum, you talk about what you liked about the movie, because you really liked it.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for sentimentality, especially Noah Baumbach's and Wes's and Woody's. So this is a question I had for you, James. I forgot to ask you before the show.
Yeah,
the types of films we're talking about: American dramas, character, emotional sentiment, family dramas, that type of thing. Is there a word for it? Because I feel like it's almost a subgenre of film. Yeah. Where it's like, I know where they all look...
just family drama?
They all look visually different. Like, Wes has a distinct style. Yeah. But even The Phoenician Scheme is at its core kind of like a family drama. A little more adventurous, but you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, it's almost like a small movement in cinema. Like, it's obviously it's a drama. They operate in drama. But I was like, I want to know what the word for it is, like the type of films we're talking about.
Ensemble.
I think family
ensemble
dramas. I think family drama.
Yeah, ensemble.
I think
family drama.
Yeah, I think that.
But I really like Baumbach's sentimental take on it. I always say that I feel like he's making the kind of movies that in an alternate universe Woody Allen would be making as well. Like, if he had access to the Hollywood cast and the Hollywood production studios, I often wonder what would that look like. And
I mean, Woody was doing that for
but like now,
decades.
I mean,
decades.
Like now, if he had the opportunity to make movies with people like Sandler, George Clooney, but also, what do those films look like? And that's what I think. That's why I think maybe that's why I like him. It's that similar energy that he always brings, apart from White Noise, which I haven't seen still.
That's different because it's like
it's an adaptation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's adaptation, and it's like a weird sort of
sci-fi,
frantic, like end of the world, like.
But yeah, the sentimentality in this one's off the charts, and I like it because he uses Clooney's age and stature to channel this this emotion of whimsy, but also sad sentimentality, where it's about the cost of celebrity at its core. And what does it mean to be famous? To give everything to your profession, which in this case is cinema. Yeah. Because Jay Kelly is an actor. And it's like the movie explores... I guess he has a nervous breakdown, kinda. And it's what I find interesting is... Do you remember when Kevin Smith had his nervous breakdown? Mm-hmm. It's almost a similar thing where he asked the question, who's Jay Kelly? And Kevin Smith said the same thing when he had his nervous breakdown. He said he couldn't differentiate the real Kevin Smith, like the actual person, from the brand Kevin Smith.
I think they say it a couple of times in the movie. Like, people are like, "Oh, what's it like to be a famous movie star?" And George Clooney's character Jay Kelly is like, "Oh, have you ever tried being yourself? It's like hard. It's hard.
It's like looking at that idea through this film, and it's fascinating to me. And George Clooney, I think it's my favorite performance of his. Like I said, I'm not going to say it's his best because
that's
wild. Well, I think, like I said, he does things with his face.
It's a good performance. I like him, but
really sad, and you can see the loss on his face and the regret, and it comes through really well, especially paired with Adam Sandler's anxiety, and that stuff going on. The editing is really nice. Like, there are sections where he'll be on a train or in a room, and then he'll turn around, and it's another set. And it's, the way he explores memory.
Like walking through his memories.
And like, I really like the fact that he has old George Clooney, old Jay Kelly, I should say, for lack of a better term. And then there'll be young Jay Kelly in the same memory, and he's watching on. Yeah. And you can see the emotion flicker on his face as he sees things that are happening that maybe he regrets or, he likes, like, you know what I mean? Like, he thinks that was the moment. So like, the charisma really pays off. Like, George Clooney's charisma really pays off in this. Because the man has aura. He's like one of the last great movie stars, even though Quentin Tarantino thinks he sucks, but Tarantino thinks everyone sucks at this point.
Tarantino was shit-talking Clooney?
He was, yeah. He reckons Clooney hasn't done anything great since the 90s. Something like that.
Don't even get me started on Tarantino, because lately
he's been off the deep end lately. I don't know what's happened in his life, but he's also been hating on Paul Dano. Leave the man alone.
Paul Dano and Matthew Lillard, apparently.
You saw the still image of them, and it's that's hilarious.
In the background,
Anyway, my point is that, Tarantino, keep your opinions to yourself.
Yeah, shut up.
If you're Tarantino, don't watch this. You won't like it. But all jokes aside, Adam Sandler is like the great opposite in this, where it's like the man who lives too much in the real world, so to speak. Whereas Jay Kelly is like, people hand him his drinks. Yeah. There's cheesecake wherever he wants it. He gets whatever he wants. Where Adam Sandler played Roy? Ron, sorry, yeah. He gets everything he wants for him. So it's like the man on the ground.
Yeah. Whereas Ron is someone who
Ron, yes.
facilitates that for him.
And it's like the lack of understanding between the two, where Jay Kelly thinks that they're best friends, but it's also like he uses him like an object.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's just a great heartwarming film, and it does, like Nathan said, with a few changes, it's a Christmas film, because like you get that whole, it has that element of it. It's like, what does family mean, kind of Christmas, learning to appreciate the people in your life and that type of thing. It does have some running in it for the cruise fans.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's not great running. I think he could use some lessons from the man. I really liked it. I'm not going to go on to. I could go on for a while longer, so I'll rein it in.
Yeah, no, we have a lot to get through tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a very quick break, and we'll be back with more exciting Tuesday review shenanigans right after these quick messages. You are back live on 98.9 Northwest FM. This is the Tuesday review. It's been an interesting week or two. Obviously, we didn't have a show last week, so we've got a lot to catch up on.
Mm-hmm.
But the Brunswick Picture House is now open.
Yeah. So
and we haven't left.
Yeah, exactly. I wrote it down. We interviewed Gus, who runs the Thornbury Picture House and now the newly opened Brunswick Picture House, back in about a month ago in episode 280. So be sure to listen to our episode 280, our interview with Gus.
Go do that now. We'll wait.
Yeah. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, you're back. Okay, good. Yeah, so listen to that. That was really great, and we were really excited, and we weren't exactly sure when the Brunswick Picture House was going to open, and then it opened last week or the week before.
Last weekend.
Yeah, and
not this weekend, just past the one before.
Yeah, so we went. We've been the last 2 weekends. And we're planning to go again in a couple of weeks' time. So, it's exactly what we've been so excited for.
And it turned out to be exactly what we wanted, basically. Yeah. And, it's an auteur kind of indie art house cinema close to home.
Mm.
It's a hipster cinema without the pretension.
Yeah.
Because, like, the Astor and everything else as we describe them, they are technically hipster cinemas. They're showing films that aren't categorically cool.
The Astor isn't that pretentious.
I wouldn't say they're not cool.
Yeah, but like, let's say not mainstream. Not mainstream.
Yeah, that's
right. And so, but we as a people of the northern suburbs, we'll call it, have a disdain for hipsters and some of their pretension.
Yeah,
like
I don't know, mate. You're looking at them.
Like, no, I'm just saying. I'm just like, but I'm saying
it's the crossover of like hipsters and cinephiles. It's like we're cinephiles, so we love to
But we hate hipsters because they decide to ride around the city on single gear bikes when there's clearly a better invention of multi-gear bicycles. They make things more difficult. Anyway, let's not get into a pedestal, but it allows kind of that, like I said, us to see some really, really what I would describe as non-mainstream films that would normally not get.
Foreign films.
Yeah, normally not get us a showing or a viewing.
Yeah.
But we also don't have to go too far out of our comfort zone. And
we don't have to go to the other side of the city. This is something that's within our comfortable roaming range.
It's like 10 minutes for us to get there.
And we don't have to risk getting glassed on Chapel Street.
That's it.
No, that's a concern. Yeah. No, so we went opening weekend. Callum went on the Friday and he saw Death in Brunswick.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that first, Callum?
Just a good Australian comedy black comedy, I guess, that I've never seen. Sam Neill is good in it. The cast is good. I like it. It's a fun one.
It's one of those like cult Australian movies that I always meant to watch and I never did.
Intro by the director.
Oh, really? He wasn't there.
He was there.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah,
Mate,
he didn't do a Q&A.
It's a movie about Brunswick being shown in Brunswick.
He was like, I'll be there.
Yeah. My mum liked it. I mean, my mum loves it already, but because she and our dad lived in Brunswick in the 80s, like she was pointing out things and she was like, oh,
It's came out in 1990, so it's like a time capsule. Yeah.
So it was fun.
I didn't get to go to the screening, but I watched it on streaming afterwards, and it's an okay movie. I didn't love it, but it's a good time capsule and a great introduction to the area. It's a great opening sort of film for the Brunswick Picture House.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by the Brunswick Picture House, but we would love to be.
Oh, hey, we're gonna spend all our time and money there,
Yeah,
whether we're sponsored or not. Doesn't
You want to
matter.
meet the Tuesday Review boys? Come by the
Yeah.
Brunswick Picture House. Probably fairly
We'll
regularly.
probably be
You'll
there.
find us. Anyway, look, just keep an eye on the show listings, and if you see something pretentious enough, we'll probably be there. No. So, Funnily-
that's the pretentious, you know.
I'm being
No,
smart,
no,
I'm being
yeah.
silly, but
It's not like we're going to go and see a 5-hour...
Speak for yourself.
it
I'll go.
depends on the 5-hour movie,
You
man.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there is some pretentious film out there, but I don't think they're
Yeah.
playing those at
Andy
the Brunswick Picture House.
Warhol's Empire State Building or whatever, where it's just
Yeah.
you know, or the guy sleeping or whatever.
But the first kind of double feature we went to see as a group was the silent picture
Yeah.
double feature of Charlie Chaplin's The Circus
hmm
and
Battleship Potemkin.
Battleship Potemkin with a live score
Mm.
by the in-house band, The
By
Sound
a-
of Silent.
A jazz
sound.
quintet?
Yes.
Would you use that?
Yes,
What
the
did you say?
in-house band called, is it The Sounds of Silent?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
Sounds of
See,
Silent.
I don't. That makes me. It feels uncomfortable in my mouth to say that.
Yeah.
Because there
But
should be
it's-
silence.
It's a gag.
I know it
it's,
is, I know it is,
it's
but
deliberate, yeah.
It feels wrong.
But and that was an interesting experience for me because I hadn't seen Charlie Chaplin's The Circus before.
Have you guys any of you seen any Charlie
No,
Chaplin?
no.
Not off
I've-
the top of my head.
I've seen clips, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
nothing,
But never like
yeah.
a full.
Is
That-
there a clip where he's running after a train that he's fallen off or something?
That's probably Buster Keaton, but Chaplin probably did that in one of his shorts or whatever. Yeah, it's like I'm a big Chaplin fan. I have all of his feature films. I've seen all of his feature films, some of his shorts too. But I haven't watched any of his stuff in a long time. And seeing it on the big screen was really great.
and again,
also
with a live band, that was sick.
a live band, that was cool. And they did a thing where they played like contemporary songs.
Which, again,
which
having never
added-
seen this movie, I wasn't aware of until
well, when-
we got the Empire.
When they said, oh, you know, there's going to be a live score, I was like, oh, they're just going to play traditional kind of like, you know, when he's running and I'm like, do, do, do. But yeah, they did like the Imperial March from Star Wars when the villain came on screen. They did like Eye of the Tiger when
he's
Charlie
fighting,
Chaplin's like fighting the guy, and they did a whole bunch of like, you know, and it added to the fun of it.
It did, and when Battleship Potemkin, pretty much the whole movie was just that song.
Well,
Rah, rah, Rasputin.
Rasputin, yeah.
Russia's
that-
greatest submachine.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that I had a problem with. I think for the circus it worked because the circus is a
Yeah.
very energetic, fast-paced, like slapstick comedy with a lot of gags, and the sort of those meta songs added to the enjoyment. Whereas Battleship Potemkin, which I'd never seen before, I was meant to because it's this classic movie, and I still enjoyed it, and the score was cool. But yeah, they were playing like, you know, the Star Wars theme, you know, when it was like, and I was like,
Was
it
already
was a
tired
bit
at
much.
that point. Yeah.
Was
No,
it-
but I think it was a bit much for that movie. Like, I think,
It's also a very serious movie.
yeah, there are parts of the
Yeah.
movie where they should have either stopped the score completely or just like cut everyone out except for one instrument.
Is it
Because-
also a case of, did they not learn? Like, because they repeated a lot in Battleship Potemkin with the score. Like,
Yeah, I don't
in case
know.
of maybe there was like maybe some sheets missing, or maybe they weren't quite
Or
prepared
maybe they're
for
like,
that
I don't know.
score.
I'd be interested in talking to one of them because maybe they're like a jazz thing where like they learn a whole like all kinds of bits, but then they improvise on the day. Like I'd be interested to know
I don't
like do
know.
they actually prepare?
They
like,
probably
not
have a
prepare, but-
list of songs
Yeah.
to play with each scene or whatever.
yeah.
But I think, yeah, for the circus, it worked really well.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there was too much possible repetition is the wrong word, but it
It's also like when you watch a silent movie, usually like the score isn't so constantly like da 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 da. Like there are bits where it'll just everything will cut out and it'll be Charlie Chaplin, you know, looking longingly at some food that he can't afford, and it'll just be a little violin or whatever.
yeah.
And when the circus, because the circus is mostly just gags, it worked when they were just doing mostly constant songs. But with Battleship Potemkin, yeah, you can have like songs when they're fighting, but there's like a part where like someone, you know, has died and there's like a funeral and there's like a line of people. I'm like, they should have cut this thing and just had like, you know, the piano guy going ding 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 ding, you know. But they were constantly doing songs the whole time. So I think it wasn't a big deal, but it was just, I think it worked better for the circus because it added to the comedy and
some
the
movies
energy.
require a restrained approach.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Battleship Potemkin it was the 100th anniversary, is 1925 when it was released, and it's one of those legendary movies that I kept meaning to watch and never did. So this was still, even though I had problems with the score, still a really enjoyable time, and it's a remarkable. I was telling the boys, like, the reason this is so famous is because of like the filmmaking techniques and the editing, which at the time wasn't really
modern,
it wasn't really
feels,
done. Movies weren't made like that.
I remember saying that to someone on the night. It felt modern. Some aspects of it felt incredibly modern.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it felt brutal and violent.
That's the thing with the steps.
It was quite,
steps.
some of it was really quite explicit and gory and like violent for the time.
The baby carriage going down the thing, that's where the Untouchables, that's where they got from, and then that's where Naked Gun 3, you know, at the beginning when there's
The
all
real
the things
classic,
fall-
yeah.
So that's where they go
So it
from.
was just like, well, because it was the olden days. I'm like, they're like, lady, we gotta have this real. The baby's going down, mate.
Yeah.
She's like, no, like we're paying you $5.
5 rubles.
So, yeah.
But anyway,
Five
in
rubles
regards to
and
the
some
score, since none of us here have seen the original, for all you know, they played exactly
Well,
the
I
score
did.
from the original.
when I got home, I put in my Blu-ray copy of the Circus just to see what the score was, and that was obviously a more traditional, like, comedy, silent movie score. And then I watched a streaming version of Battleship Potemkin, which again just had a more traditional score. But obviously those scores, there's like more instruments. There's a lot of violin, which the jazz, they had the trumpet, the trombone, the saxophone, the piano, and the drums.
Yeah.
So it's like a different feeling, different
repertoire,
vibe.
yeah.
But
that
yeah,
was
it was still a great experience.
Again, it was a great experience,
think-
and I'm very happy that like the Brunswick Picture House is open because we can see these kinds of things and
Yeah.
have these kinds of experiences.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
not only can you see a silent movie, but you can see a silent movie with a live score.
And
Like,
it's something that Brunswick and Thornbury Picture House do.
Mm.
It's not
Yeah.
it's not a rare thing. It's like it happens throughout the year.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to know that we can go and see
It's-
all kinds of films.
we were talking
with
about
the live band.
with Gus. It's like Brunswick Picture House is great, not just because they play old movies or they play art house movies or foreign movies or niche movies, but it's like it's part of the experience. There's a bar and there's like, you know, Q&As and director introductions and live music, and it's
Yeah.
like you can have a thing. It's not like, you know, you never get that stuff at your big mainstream.
in the
cinemas,
interview
chain
with Gus, he talks about the bar and like the construction of it.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful bar.
Mhm.
Should we do a little review of the
Yeah, go
Brunswick
ahead.
Picture House?
Oh, actually, yeah. Speaking of, Candy Bar is great. It's good price,
Yeah,
and they have
good
lots.
selection.
They have nice, like chocolate covered almonds, chocolate covered
Yeah.
pretzels.
They were delicious,
Nut
yeah,
mix,
can't
like
confirm.
all
Their,
this
their
cool
popcorn
stuff.
is better than standard.
Mm.
Like you go to some independent cinemas and the popcorn's
Yeah.
fine as whatever.
Mate, you can get
The
a
Sun-
schooner on tap. Like,
Yeah.
at
The
that point, they
Sun
win.
Theaters,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Sun Theaters popcorn. Apologies to Sun Theater, is awful.
That actually, you know what? Alan Mace is a good point that I didn't even think about. They got beers on tap at a cinema, which is not something that's common.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, and you
like,
can bring it into the
a,
cinema
a
too.
lot
Yeah.
of them, if you want it, you have to go to the gold class aspect of it.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like you're a standard ticket person, you get, you know.
Mm.
But the foyer is nice. It's nice and welcoming.
Mm.
The seats are comfortable. They're the old school, red seats style.
Yeah, but there's lots of
But
leg
they're-
room, which
they're
is
big.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
and you got
lots
lots
of
of leg room,
Mm.
and the screen is gorgeous.
The
Mm.
screen is
Screen's
nice,
fantastic.
and they've also spaced the seats out well enough that,
Yeah.
as in, there's lots of leg room, and they're also the height differential between the rows is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So
Gus
I'm
was talking
I'm
about
not
it,
getting
yeah.
blocked by some 6'5" kind of guy
Yeah,
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
sitting in the row
Yeah,
in front of
it
me.
was-
And the
comfy.
sound's excellent as well.
Yeah,
the
it's great.
the auditorium sound.
I think it was good too because Alan, you've never seen a silent movie, right?
No, I don't believe I have.
Yeah, so I think, and you enjoyed both movies.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I think I like the circus more.
Yeah, that one's more
Yeah.
fun.
My only complaint with the circus is because this was back in the day when you could abuse animals.
There is a lot of questionable.
Yeah, but there was no bear on a tricycle.
Yeah,
But I don't know if I'm gonna say the monkeys probably didn't appreciate being on the tightrope. but also monkeys, they're okay.
Yeah.
They're okay on ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was nothing where it's like, oh, that's really awful. But yeah, it's
No,
like
but
they weren't
all
being
the
treated-
animals are probably trained.
Well,
Yeah,
I was gonna say
Yeah.
the lion was it the lion or was it a
Yeah,
it was
the
a lion.
lion.
It was certainly trained.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That poor
definitely.
one.
But I'm like,
yeah.
look, if it's in that area where it's allowed, I'm
That's
like,
also like
I want to see a bear on a tricycle.
I don't. Yeah, it's like I don't. You know, I think we've talked about this. It's like I don't wish. You know, I don't want any animals to come to harm. But that's why I love old movies because they just have animals.
Yeah, because like it's too late. It's already
Those
happened.
animals are
it's
dead
like,
now.
well, it's on film. Like it's not. I was like, I'm not condoning they do it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, at
It's like
this
buying
point,
it's like buying used leather from a charity store.
Speaking
Yeah, it's
of
fine.
Naked Gun, I think it was Naked Gun 2. Like, there's just lots of animals in that movie for no reason other than let's just have lots of animals running around because it's funny and we can. And they
but
just
it's-
don't do that in movies anymore.
and it's true. Like you just have animals running around. You're like, Jesus Christ,
I
what's going
remember
on here?
Yeah.
when we watched The Fablemans, we were like, "That's a real
Yeah,
monkey."
When it was a real monkey, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome.
All right, let's move
Um,
it along, boys. Any other final thoughts for the silent picture duology before we head on to?
No,
I like
it's,
the circus, but Battleship Potemkin held my engagement more just because it was
Okay,
more
that's
dramatic.
Yeah.
Do you know, like I was kind of like, you know,
It made me very, not patriotic, but I was just like, yeah, man, fight the oppressors. Wave that red flag.
I mean-
I was like, yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah, there was a
there's
part
also-
where the flag was red.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's a black and white movie, and then they
I mean,
hand colored.
I was worried where you were going with there for a second because there's a part of that movie.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. That was that.
Oh, like James is getting a bit close to the line in the studio. I'm about to hit the done button.
if this was a larger cinema, I probably would have laughed out loud at that scene.
Now-
The riot
The
scene.
anti-Semitic scene.
Yeah, oh,
with
no,
the-
no, no, no.
Yeah.
But we're fighting against
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
the
but-
racism and
But
the-
yeah, like
Yeah.
just that was so jarring because everyone's like doing, talking about
Well,
going against the
yeah.
oppression. And he's
I
like,
guess that's historical context, and also we're watching a subtitle version. There might be some nuance we're missing. I'm kind of just
Yeah.
like, where did this come into it? That came out of nowhere for me personally.
yeah, it's because it was like the working, not
Yeah.
even working class. It's like all these poor people. It's like they're probably predominantly Jewish, and so then there's this whole thing of like the class difference and like the racism. And
I'm sure it made
anti-Semitism.
sense at the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
but
Anyway.
like for full context, the guy does get who says the anti-Semitic comment
Yeah.
gets shut down.
Exactly.
Like,
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it made me like. Obviously, I'm on the other side of being like, no,
Yeah.
screw that guy. He's part of the rich. Like there was all the, there's all the poor people mourning the dead sailor, and then there's like the rich people who are like, haha, we don't care. And the anti-Semitic guy is one of those guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, eat the rich. Kill
Yeah,
those
both
guys.
important movies and both well worth seeing at a cinema if you can.
Yeah. And then the next weekend we went back.
And we watched a cinema
And we'll be back
classic.
again.
And yeah, we'll be back definitely.
No, we're back again with more. What is it? The Star Wars quote? We'll be back again with more.
Greater numbers.
Greater
Oh
numbers.
yeah.
So we watched In the Mood for Love
Yes.
for its 25th.
25th anniversary.
25th
Again,
anniversary.
another movie that most of us in the studio had not watched.
Yeah, I had seen it. You guys hadn't. So when Callum was like, "Oh, let's go see this," I was like, "That's a good idea to see that on the big screen."
Yeah,
Um,
so,
Sumptuous film.
Yeah, very.
so Wong Kar-Wai.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ambitious movie and a very restrained movie, and I appreciate the filmmaking in this film very much.
Can I have a hot take
It's-
just before we begin?
Yeah.
I don't like the soft fades. Not a fan of the
Oh, really? I like those.
Yeah, I would much prefer hard cuts.
You do like the jittering though.
I did, but like when it does, it goes like fade into black, like
Mm.
that thing. I didn't like that. I'd prefer harder cuts myself.
No, I think it works.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Um,
That's my
yeah.
one grumble.
Criticism.
Out of the way.
So yeah, if people aren't aware of this movie, it's a film essentially about a deepening relationship between
It's
the two
set-
spouses
Yeah.
of a couple that are having. Like,
It's
an
set in
affair.
Hong Kong in 1962, and there's a man and his wife living next door to a woman and her husband, and the husband and wife sort of are having an affair behind their back, and so the main characters, the man and the other woman, are sort of flirting with the idea of also, I guess having an affair together because their spouses are already doing it, and they're both lonely and they both live right next door to each other, and it's just this sort of slow, beautiful, contemplative movie about how they're very close to each other, but they're very far away.
I mean, I would argue, spoiler alert, that they kind of do have an affair, an emotional affair.
Well, yeah, I think, I mean, again, yeah, it's like how much do we want to discuss it and spoil it? I mean, it's
Not-
25
not
years
too-
old.
Yeah, but also we don't. If we don't have to, we don't. Need to.
I feel we should go into a full spoiler review, given the age.
Well,
of
It
the
is an
film.
older film, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and it's also a movie that you can spoil, but it's still worth watching because it's
Yeah.
not really about the plot.
No.
It's just
It is a quintessential vibes movie.
yeah, sort of. It's very much about the filmmaking, the emotion.
It's
and
just very much about Tony
Tony
Long,
Yeah.
just chilling in a suit,
Smoking.
And he looks so good
He's so
smoking in a
cool.
suit. Like
So
that's
cool.
like I know smoking's bad, but it's like sometimes you watch films,
Yeah.
especially the Humphrey Bogart era films, and,
Oh yeah.
and like they just had guys in suits looking cool, smoking, drinking, and you thought that's what a man looks like.
I mean, it is a thing.
I know that sounds
Oh,
like
Mad
toxic,
Men kind of.
I know
yeah.
that sounds like toxic masculinity, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Even like again a lady like in that same context, like I don't know, they used to have those weird cigarette extension things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yes.
lighting it up for the lady,
Or
and
even like
having that-
some old movies like the cigarettes are really long,
Yeah.
and you got
Yeah.
like the lady like smoke, and it's like it looks cool.
it just that's my one gripe. I'm like, this makes smoking so cool. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's not.
that's
I
right.
don't
There's
smoke,
that
ladies
famous
and
scene where he's sitting at he's at his desk and there's this smoke
Yeah.
coming up and you think that's the coolest the man has looked.
Yeah, smoke
like if,
looks
if
good
you
on
ever
him.
want to convey a scene of like this man's serious, like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
on something like as in there's something's happening going on.
It's also how
Like,
you smoke. Like
yeah.
if you're just
Yeah.
if you're casually taking a drag, that's cool. But if you're like really puffing on it hard, it's like, oh my god, stressful.
Yeah,
Like old movies are better.
we laughed about it that like what 50 years from now. It'll be in films like it'll be a guy popping a zin. Yeah, where he, like just under his
Well,
lip.
vaping is already seen in movies as kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when people vape in movie, it's usually for a joke.
Yeah.
So that's like completely like gone by. So yeah, I don't know what the next
I
thing
think-
is. Zin or
But yeah, this movie, I like the whole vibe of it. I like I would say I like the
It's-
colors, but the color grade is different.
So for those who don't know, Wong Kar-Wai is one of those directors that when he restores his movies, he like completely changes the color grade and
yeah.
even in some cases slightly changes the aspect ratio, which is annoying and is one of the reasons I haven't really sort of continued a lot through his filmographies because I'm like, dude, just leave it alone. Stop being a George Lucas. He doesn't go full George Lucas, but
there's,
it
there's
is-
no there's no CGI.
It is annoying.
In the Mood for Love 50th anniversary edition, there's going to be like CG characters.
Like
Yeah.
CG dog in the apartment.
It'll just be a CG vape instead of a cigarette.
yeah, with Tony Leung vaping instead of smoking.
yeah.
Like AI generated. So
Yeah, like just like clouds of smoke.
The flavored.
Yeah.
But yeah, so watching the movie on the big screen for the first, I'd seen it before in the original color grade, and I have the older Blu-ray that has the original color grade. But this is the first time seeing it on the big screen, and this is the first time seeing the new 4K restoration with the sort of oversaturated green and
Blues.
yellowy color grade. And it still looked really nice.
It didn't bother me because I've never
I
seen
think
the film before.
and I think all the boys agree. Like it's still colorful and it's a well shot, well
there were
made,
a few
nice
scenes
looking
that
movie.
had a matrixy tint,
And that's the thing,
it did
yeah.
feel out of place. When I
Wait-
watched it, I was like, "That's kind of a strange
I
choice."
actually, after we finished watching, and I went home and I popped in my Blu-ray with the original color grade, and it's crazy how yellow the new one is. I was like, wow. There's like a shot. There's a shot of like the close up of a telephone, and it's kind of green.
yeah.
That is
yeah.
a cream colored telephone. That is
Yeah.
not a green. Like it's like there's a bit where she's wearing a white creamish dress.
Yep.
In the movie we saw, she was wearing a light green dress.
Okay.
That's how it's
Yeah.
quite and
Jarring.
yeah, and it's again if you're not really aware, it's just annoying that he does that. And the movie again, he hasn't gone full George Lucas and changed like re-edited it or whatever. But it is annoying that he's done that. It's still a great movie
It's a
though, and it's
classic,
still a
and-
beautiful looking movie.
Alum, I'm interested in Alum's take of a man who's, out of all of us, probably the least interested in a slow romantic drama kind of film. Like, what did you appreciate out of it?
I absolutely love, like I said to the boys before, the shots, particularly when they're going to the noodle shop. Just that slow
Up and down
pacing.
the stairs.
Yeah, just the
Just the-
angle
the-
towards the stairs.
Yeah, like the craft of the filmmaking.
just-
yeah.
And then you see them coming down the bottom, waiting there, like standing there kind of wiping some of their sweat with the napkin. It's like it's a real kind of scene. You can see somebody. It's set in Hong Kong, correct?
The first, most of the movie, yeah.
It's supposed to be set in Hong Kong, like in the 60s.
Although I think they started shooting in Beijing, and then because Wong Kar-Wai's process, he doesn't really use a script. It's like lots of improvisation, and he filmed it for so long. And then he went to Thailand to prepare for another movie, and he's like, wow, Thailand looks like 1960s Hong Kong. So they moved the shoot there and like started shooting all over again. So it took 15 months to shoot the whole thing. And it was like the DP left and they got another DP, and it's like there's this whole mishmash of actual different footage in different places.
Yeah. But like you can kind of almost feel that, this is somebody in 60s Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Kind of living through it.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what I tell people. If they're not interested in that kind of story, you will still watch the movie, not for the story, but for the vibes and the actual
just
craft
the visual, the
behind it.
music, the sound.
Score alone. That score,
the score's
awesome.
beautiful.
the main motif in that score with the violins. Amazing.
I also like the fact that you never see their partners.
No.
Like,
It's not the point.
That's actually something.
It's almost like they're a reflection of their own partners, like, or the opposite partner for each other. Because there were some scenes where, like, obviously it seems like she's discussing with her actual husband, but turns out
there's this whole rehearsal aspect.
Like, but
and I think it's what's interesting with Wong Kar-Wai's process is like there's a whole bunch of deleted scenes where you do see the husband and the wife.
I think it's better left out.
No, I think
there's also apparently, originally the movie was supposed to be more of a traditional affair where you see them making love and they have like a witty banter and like a very flirty. But as they were like improvising and doing scenes and stuff, it became more subtle. And I think the movie's a lot better for it because I like that there's this like longing and there's this emotional affair, but it's like never really be physical.
And because of the honor code he wants. He's not going to lower himself. And that's what I like about the film is that it's about love, but it's also about desire. But like the desire between two people who make a conscious decision to not go through that process.
It's because the movie is told in this sort of not flashback, but it's like there's this bit
nostalgia.
Like there's like an opening text, that opening text and text at the end that was like they looked back on this later in their lives. And it has this kind of sad melancholy, like what could have been sort of thing. And it has, with Alan was saying, where they're so close, but like they just miss each other, and then when they do come together, it's like they can never really fully. I think it's just a very beautiful, subtle.
I think it's a movie every film fan should watch at least once in their life.
Yeah, I was saying to the boys like it's considered one of the great movies. So I think everyone should definitely check it out,
especially on the big screen.
Watch it at the cinema if possible. But
so shout out to the Brunswick Picture House for showcasing it.
Yeah. And speaking of, we'll be there in a couple of weeks for what are the Muppets Christmas Carol
and It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life, which is
very exciting.
Great.
Unfortunately can't make it.
I'll go to the horror one.
Party people. We haven't
we're not sure if we're going to do that.
Yeah, we're not sure if we can.
But you can watch Muppets on. You can watch them on streaming anyway, and then we can still talk about them. And, but those will be great.
All out of time for tonight. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Catch the description on this episode and the specials and everything else for the new Pokemon Go City Safari Walk, which is the first ever for Australia. And support Game On Cancer thing.
Maybe we'll put in the Brunswick Picture House website as well.
And support Brunswick Picture House.
Definitely.
You can catch us on some of the social media garbage at Tuesday Review AU on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Newsmask, Facebook, Truth Social.
I want to make one day.
At Tuesday Review AU. We're on Letterboxd. I'm Nathan B_90.
I'm channeldrifter.
I'm Alan20.
And I'm callumtuesday.
And we'll be back next week with more movie shenanigans. Adios, cousins.